Hi, I've been thinking about communication. Communication skills are some of the most important skills you can develop for your entire life. Communication is important for almost any career. It's very important for your social interactions, and it's extremely important for your personal relationships. And of course, communication is very important in government, in business, and in international relationships. It's critical for most of parts of our life. Now, does your interlocutor understand what you mean or what you say? Sometimes those can be two very different things, and we don't even realize it. The terms you use are important. No, I don't mean the politically correct terms. I mean, those change almost daily, and they're hard to keep up with. What I mean is, are the terms you're using meaning the same thing to the listener as they are to you? For example, I was in a discussion recently, and we were using the terms happiness and contentment. And I discovered that one person in the discussion assumed that they meant practically the same thing, whereas to me, they're very different. Happiness is, to me, something that is of the moment, whereas contentment is a more underlying feeling over a long period of time. For example, someone invites me to go off for a weekend of entertainment, and I'm happy. I'm really happy, and I had a great time. But contentment to me means, yes, my life is going quite well. I have nothing to really complain about. Therefore, I'm very content. And so we need to make sure that people in a conversation all understand what we mean by the terms that we're using. We might even have to ask, what do you understand by a specific term? Or sometimes I will try to explain something in two or three different ways using different words, hoping that one of the ways will at least get the information across that I am trying to communicate. And so I would suggest that don't be afraid to ask somebody if they understand what you mean by a certain term or what a certain term means to them. And make sure that you're all on the same page when you're having a discussion. Now, another facet of communication that we occasionally overlook is the tone that we're using. Sometimes I have been watching or trying to listen to a podcast, and I'm interested in what the speaker is talking about, but their tone is so off-putting that I have trouble listening to the meaning in an objective way. Sometimes the tone can be condescending or angry. And so we want to make sure that our tone is not interfering with what we're trying to communicate. And sometimes it's hard to know how our own tone is coming across. And we might have to ask someone, I don't want my tone to interfere with what I'm saying. So would you help me? Also, body language can speak volumes. Many years ago, I learned that what you think people are thinking about you is often not at all what they were thinking. When I was in graduate school, I was so nervous, so afraid. I didn't see how I could possibly get through the semester, more or less an entire PhD program. And I thought anyone could just look at me and see right through me and see how anxious and scared I was and trembling on the inside. And a few years later, I discovered that my fellow graduate students were interpreting my body language to mean that I was confident and aloof. Nothing could have been further from the truth. So we have to look at all of the ways in which we're communicating to try to convey the message that we mean to convey in a way that it is effective. Now, I am very interested in what you have to say about the way I've been trying to communicate. So please put your responses in the comments below. I would appreciate that very much. And until next time, bye-bye.